Hello, friends. On today's episode, we will be taking a look back in time to the beginnings of my little young YouTube channel. We are going to be talking about my 2019 goals when I was a brand new booktuber and had never really thought about such things as bookish goals before, and see how I did with them. And today has been a day. So I'm coming to you in my brand new Christmas PJs with a glass of wine and very minimal makeup because I just took a bubble bath. So we're going to get right into it. So, my first goal of 2019 when I was brand new to this booktube game was that I had set my Goodreads goal to 48 books. Now, that is a perfectly acceptable goal. And honestly, I think next year for 2020, I'm only going to set it at like 52. But little did I know that I would find such a thing as audiobooks and things that I really wanted to participate in because I, as of the filming of this video, have read 120 books in 2019. So 48, while it was ambitious for me at the time, I had no idea what I was getting into when I started this booktube channel. Oh, have mercy. So, goal number 2 was to read 4 books a month. Again, very acceptable goal. That's what I'm going with next year. But I am sure, I didn't really look at each individual month, but I am almost positive that I have read more than 4 books a month in the past year. Maybe I don't remember for nonfiction November if I read more than 4 books. I may have only read 5. But yeah, that was a good goal, and that's actually probably what I'll stick with next year. And I think that I probably achieved that goal this year. Now, the next one, is one that I'm actually not sure without going back and looking at each month, which is why I am going to keep a very dedicated book journal next year so that I can actually research this stuff more easily than I did this year, was to read 1 classic a month. Now, I probably did this for the most part. Definitely in Victober and during ShakeTube, and even for this Cloak and Dagger Christmas. I'm sure that I know that there were multiple things that I read during those months that would be considered classics. But like, say, in February, did I? I don't remember. I don't even remember if I did for middle grade March, which actually I think I did, because I think I read, did I read one of C.S. Lewis's Narnia books? I don't remember. But anyway, I think that I probably achieved this goal overall to read a lot of classics, but did I do 1 a month? I don't think so. Goal number 4 was to reread a lot of the books off of my shelf and not buy a ton of books. I definitely did this. I reread Passage to India by Ian Forster. I read some, not all, but I reread some of the Narnia, Chronicles of Narnia. Let's see, what else did I read? I think I don't remember what all I read. However, I definitely did a very good job of kind of keeping track of what I knew I wanted to read, and rereading many of the books that I had on my shelf. And the ones that I looked at and I was like, I don't really feel like I'm going to want to read this again. I got rid of them. And which is very much needed at this point, because I got rid of my one bookshelf that I had. So now all I have is the teal colored dresser that I sometimes film in front of, which does have a lot of space for books, but it doesn't have enough space for all of my books. So I need to buy another bookshelf. But because I did a good job this year of weeding out what I wanted to keep and what I didn't want to keep, I don't have a ton of books just sitting around on the floor waiting for a shelf. I do have a lot of books, but I think that I can be safe to say that it's probably no more than 100 books total that I own. So I'll have to do a count sometimes, because I don't know if that's true or not. And my last goal of 2019 was to participate in a lot of readathons and read-alongs. Yeah, I need a little bit of wine. Ooh, that's a new one, and that's dry. Yummy. Somebody, somewhere, called me the queen of the readathon. And I would probably agree with that. I do love a readathon. I especially love the month-long readathons that, just a whole month is devoted to reading as much of something as possible. Hence this Cloak and Dagger, where I wanted to try to read 25 cozy mysteries in a month. Still not thinking that that's going to happen at this point, but I we're keeping on keeping on. So, but I love Victober. I love Shake Tube. I love Cloak and Dagger Christmas. I love Middle Grade March. So many things. I'm probably even forgetting one. But and then on top of that, this year I participated in the Betsy Tacy read along. And I had such a good time with that. I was able to put up a video review for every Betsy Tacy book in the series, along with the hosts and some other booktubers that were participating in it as well. And I have made so many good booktube friends from participating in that read along. Most notably, probably Kelly from Books I'm Not Reading, one of the hosts. She and I talk quite frequently now on Voxer, and she's just a lovely person, and I really enjoy just chatting with her and with her husband Jason, and just it was a really fun experience for me. And Betsy Tacy I had never heard of before, and now I'm probably going to make a priority to reread at least a few books in the series every year, I'm hoping. So, yeah, I really, really love readathons and read-alongs, and I will be participating in at least 3 read-alongs next year at the beginning of the year, and I will be doing kind of my own casual read-along in the first 2 months of the year with War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. So more about that coming up in a little bit, but yeah, I definitely crushed that goal to participate in all the readathons, because yeah, pretty much every month was a different readathon for me. So there you go, friends. That is just my little chatty review of when I was a young newbie booktuber, and to see how I've grown, or what I've learned from booktube in almost a year of doing this. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.